grinning. Walk up to you while you show no stun till you up that jewelry and money. Playing game, thinking show no funny till my young win for me. Yeah, for the love of the bankroll. Keep it been to you. Don't nobody care about it. Don't nobody want to hear about it. You got problems.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll talk to you again at halftime, but for the call of this one, let's send it out to our EA Sports broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first open back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap. Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and third overall pick.
And you know how they say it's not about the money? Sometimes it is about the money. Matt Ryan is going to average $30 million in salary per year now as one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and he more than deserves it. The NFL's MVP in 2016.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll bring up a second down. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's carry number 1 for Kenneth Dixon. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. Well, look at the Buccaneer starters now on defense. Well, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but pretty nice effort.
On second down, it's Dixon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Play action. Ryan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Levante David coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by their quarterback. Started his career as a Florida Gator, finished at Louisiana Tech. It's Jeff Driscoll.
Jeff Driscoll has a good arm, but his athletic ability is the thing that really captures your eye. His ability to not just move in the pocket, but to be a part of a quarterback run game that can really break down defenses. That's what's impressive about when you see him.
Here's the first carry now for Frank Gore. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Micah Kaiser was in on the tackle. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
The play fake. He'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And taken right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They come in as the 3 seed, and this will very likely the last home game of the season for them, even if they win this one. But while they wanted one of those top 2 spots, they're still in a pretty good position.
They are, and let's face it, any team that gets into the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned, they're in a good position because they're doing what the rest of the league wants. A lot of people are sitting at home watching them, but you made a good point. Everyone is vying for one of the top 2 spots. You get an opening, get a week off.
That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. And even 40 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They go play action here on first down. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu from 13 yards out. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And here now the offense heading back out there. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that. But your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we've got no shot? You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? It's to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand.
They'll run with the backup. This is Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He's got Evans. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Takk McKinley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. Charles Sims, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw here. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle, into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So 1 quarter in the books here on the opening weekend of the NFC playoffs. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Atlanta in just a moment. This is the NFL, and you're watching EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They'll start the drive with Dixon, and he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Ryan down around the goal line. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They go play action now. Ryan under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And 12 yards that time, and picking up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Dixon on the pitch. And some room to maneuver. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Play action. It's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Well, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now back out comes the offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and...
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from second to third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Bucs on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. He'll drop to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out come the Falcons now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Tuesday.
Ito Smith, his first carry. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Gerald McCoy. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Here we go. 3, 9.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's caught. Humphreys. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Bucs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever.
Set. Blue, 90.
Back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as he moves the offense backwards. On first down, Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And some room to roam now. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do it.
Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He'll look to throw. And a catch right side by Evans. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Steps away to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The second of our 2 games here on this wildcard Saturday is at halftime. We'll get back to you two in just a second. But first, time to look ahead to Sunday's action here in the NFC. A 4-5 battle that ought to be a tight one, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, in our game, just a field goal separates these 2 sides at the break. One will go on to the divisional round, one will go home. To find out who it is, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Here's Humphreys. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? They'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And an alley to run. He finds an opening past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 and a first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On first down, it's goal. And nothing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his pass incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Here we go now. Green.
Looking to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. Buying time to his left. They find some open field here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Danico Autry in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw here. They'll roll him out right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Ryan toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now a handoff for Dixon. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Back to the ground, this time with Gore. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Bucs on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were.
Let's go!
They'll drop the throw. Eluding, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Gore. He will push his way down to about the 14. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it, because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. 3rd down here.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. To throw on 3rd down. Ryan. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. That's taken on the 25. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this break. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't it?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5.
Set. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. Same story continues. He's the only one that's scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And that's incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And it's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
The Falcons on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again, Ryan. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. To throw again is Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off-kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Second and 10. It's Ryan again. The left side completion to Jones. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the play. First down, they go with Dixon. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Right back to Dixon. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Time for a break. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Ryan to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Brent Grimes.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Another carry now for goal. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Gore. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hut.
Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Atlanta.